Okay, goodness. Right, thank you.
Lastly, we also remain committed to constantly sensitize and the intention of enhancing content delivery and harmony in teaching follows. CHRP Part 1 has got Level 1 and Level 2. 10 subjects were examined. The aggregate mean score was 59.35. The pass was 75.3%, and these are the candidates that met the minimum requirements set by the examinations board. However, 24.5% did not make it and therefore were unsuccessful because they failed to meet the minimum requirements that were set by the examinations board. CHRP Part 2 has got Level 3 and 4. A total of 6 subjects were examined. The aggregate mean score was 56.01. Out of this number, 79.7% passed and therefore met the minimum requirements set by the examinations board. However, 20.3% did not make it and therefore were unsuccessful because they failed to meet the minimum requirements set by the examinations board. Performance in Level 3, Part 3, Level 5 and 6. 6 subjects were examined. An aggregate mean score of 57.15. The pass was 81.48%, and therefore these candidates met the minimum requirements set by the examinations board. However, 18.52 were unsuccessful and therefore failed to meet the minimum requirements set by the board. The best recorded mean score was in CHRP 08, and this is the subject known as Organization Theory and Behavior, which had a mean of 72.17. However, the lowest recorded performance as far as mean score is concerned was CHRP 06. This is Economics, which had a mean score of 50.43. Best candidate CHRP June 2018. I'll give all the 22 subjects. CHRP 01, that is Introduction to Human Resource Management. The best candidate was Josephine Chebet. Her number is 237, and she was from Kenya Institute of Management, Kericho branch, who are involved. And it is important to mention that cheating will not be allowed, cheating will not be tolerated, and therefore the heads of the institutions represented here this morning kindly take note of that the government is also taking all the precautions to ensure that cheating does not get a room. Conclusions and recommendations. The growth, as we have seen, the CHRP examination is rapidly gaining acceptance as the main tool to gain entry into, remain relevant, and have a voice in the human resource profession in this country. The general performance, the candidates demonstrated average performance in the majority of the examination papers as evidenced by the mean score in the various subjects. However, the marginal pass in some subjects still remains wanting. It was evident that gradually majority of the candidates are able to demonstrate an understanding of the knowledge and skills required to respond to the various questions in the various levels of CHRP. However, poor performance was recorded in some papers such as financial accounting, economics, change management, as well as human resource accounting. So among the reasons that were reported by the examiners included misunderstanding of the questions and lack of understanding of the responses that require to be elicited by certain concepts, which could be an indicator of lack of adequate preparedness on the part of the candidates.
By the release of these examinations, the examination board has once again demonstrated its ability as well as commitment to deliver on its mandate as espoused in Section 16 of the Human Resource Management Professional Act number 52 of 2012, Laws of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, in the Institute, the board has been mandated to prepare and prescribe relevant human resources curriculum, make rules with respect to the examinations, and issue certificates to candidates who have certified the board's examination requirement. And I want to add that this has meticulously been achieved. We have established very high standards of delivering examinations and certifying HR professionals in Kenya. The board is striving to make the curriculum more meaningful and more practical to meet the day-to-day challenges facing the human resource practitioners in the Kenyan industry. Towards this, the board continues to work closely with the Institute of Human Resource Management and has tapped the best minds within and outside this country to develop a world standard professional examination. As I've said before, there is no any other country in the continent of Africa that has evolved a certification program for HR practitioners. This is the first one that we are doing in Kenya, and our benchmark has been done worldwide, and we can see the results are paying. Those who have already sat for CHRP would attest that the curriculum is broad-based, relevant, and targets to bring out the best out of any human resource practitioner. As we speak, I can assure you that CHRP finalists are now sought for to provide leadership and strategic directions in management of human resource management in both the commercial sectors, the government, and the non-governmental organizations in this country. Ladies and gentlemen, this certification would support the profession in claiming its right place at the center of all the renowned professions in this country. HR professionals will also be able to continue playing a critical role in the development of this country, in creating the national wealth that we all desire. You will agree with me that we are best placed to drive the innovation agenda in the industries and workplace where we work. This will in turn spur industrialization and increased employment opportunities that is part of the big four agenda that the government is focusing on. By these examinations and training that we do, we support the big four agenda, for this is the roadmap to where we must go. According to the Kenya Institute of Public Policy Research and Analysis, KIBRA, 2018, currently, manufacturing contributes 9.2% of the GDP. And with the Big Four agenda policy targeting a 15% contribution, manufacturing needs to nearly double its output, and formal employment opportunities will follow the same trend in the next 5 years. So by the release of these examinations and the effort we're putting in to train human resource professionals, we are immensely contributing towards the Big Four agenda. In addition to the innovation, we, the human resource professionals in this country...
Male-female ratios, I don't know whether all the others are worried about that, like I am. Yeah, because from a policy perspective, it's something we need to really sit back and look at. Is it that HRM is is our lady's profession? Or is it that our male colleagues are not concerned about their growth? These are questions we need to answer. From the ministry perspective, we are saying that and as the ministry in charge of public service, it is time every cadre gets professionalized. We are really focused towards that, not only for the private sector, but even the public sector. Now that the colleges are here, my word is that in less than 2 years' time, we should be having CHRMP as a core and as a mandatory course for promotions in public service. All the promotions in HR, that will be there. I don't know how prepared you are. We are talking about close to 7,000, 8,000 HR professionals in public service. Not to talk about those who are in private. Are the colleges ready to prepare these students? That's a challenge I would like to pose to you, to start preparing, because actually something we addressed a year ago, but the fear was that we may not have made enough infrastructural preparedness to keep it core or to make it core, so that as we talk about we also need to talk about the reach. This HR person in Turkana, and we want to say that this is a promotional course. If we base that promotion on this particular course, have we given him a chance to also get training, or that's a shortcut to promote the student? I mean the HR professionals in Nairobi and the other major towns. So this is a challenge to the colleges. Please reach deeper and wider into the service to ensure that nobody is disadvantaged. Because now we feel like with the numbers you are getting from the board, they are encouraging, and we can comfortably say that there's something which can now be accepted in the government as one of the causes we consider for promotion. The element of cheating is another one. You all know what, especially the Ministry of Education is doing to fight this I don't know what I call it, but it's something which is really hurting us in a big way. It's hurting our credibility as a government. And we'd hate to see that culture of cheating is carried from schools now to colleges and even to professional areas. It is something we really need to kill before it gets deeper. So with those few remarks, then I want to say that we as a government, we are focused to support the institute and the board in all ways possible to ensure that HRM is professionalized, and any other